Hello everybody, Sean Barton here from Tortoise IT. Today I'd like to show you the most recent version, that being version 3.1 I think, version of the Woo Layout Injector. Now the Woo Layout Injector plugin has been around now for, I don't know, 6-7 months, something like that, and I have to say it's been one of my most successful plugins ever, really. It's bringing an angle of functionality to Divi that just hadn't been done before, and people are really enjoying using it. So I really do appreciate everybody grabbing a copy, and any feedback that's come back to me so far is really good. So thanks very much for that. I really do mean it. Obviously this is one of the earlier plugins in my range of injector plugins. All of them work along the same sort of ilk. So if there's anything you don't understand in what I'm showing you, watch this video, watch some of the other injector videos, and hopefully it will all make sense. Alternatively, I have a nice new documentation website, docs.tortoise-it.co.uk, and I've got a support ticketing system as well available as a last resort if people want me to kind of dip in and give them a hand. So more than happy to do that anyway. So version, whichever one it was, version 1, a long time ago now, I had a chat with Eileen from Elegant Marketplace, and I showed her exactly what the original plugin could do. At the time it could style product pages, and not a lot else, and even that was enough to have people sort of singing from the rooftops. It was really good, so really it's brilliant. Since then I've added archive functionality, so people can create any form of archive page. An archive is the shop page, a product category page, a product tag page, or anything else along those lines. So when I say archive, that's what I mean. So this page is just a normal Divi page. Let me show you what it looks like out of the box, the Divi functionality, and then I'll turn on some layouts that I've really just thrown together in a couple of minutes to show you what it can do. So hopefully this will form an instructional video, as well as a big thank you for everybody. So there we go. So this page, I've installed WooCommerce, I've created a few example products, and this is the out of the box shop page that you get. Not overly exciting, but not really boring either. But you know, if you wanted to customize it in any way, you have to dive into the code. So this is so if you're happy with that, great, good luck to you. If not, that's what the Woo Injector plugin is for. So this is the archive page. We can click into view one of the product pages, and it's all, I haven't adjusted anything on this site. It's all relatively quite bunched together. But it does the job. We've got a few related products, a description of tabs, short description, price, the title, and not much else. So the ability to buy is there, which is great. Add to cart. We've got a gallery of images, main product image, sidebar. Now you do have the ability to mess around with this pair. I think you can remove or move the sidebar from within the Divi settings. But why would you want to do that when you've got the Woo Injector, the Woo Layout Injector plugin? So what we've got here, and I should show you the product category. So I've got to category 1, and this is just a category page out of the box with WooCommerce and Divi. So it's all right. Let's go have a look at something else more fun now, shall we? So with the Woo Layout Injector, you get this settings page. Yes, it is 3.1. There you go. This settings page, it might be a little bit different when you get hold of it, because I'm changing this just to make it a bit more informative, a bit more useful, but you get the idea. A lot of the settings will be the same, but perhaps in a different place. So we start off licensing. This actually enables, it's wrong, it's before you can start using the plugin. It means before you should start using the plugin. Enter your license key, which you'll get when you purchase from Elegant Marketplace. And it will enable automatic updates, so that's quite a handy thing to have, because up until now, if you wanted to update it, you would have to delete the plugin and then re-edit, which has been the only way forward so far, but there you go, that's what that does. We have a number of different options here, top to bottom. There aren't many that you can see, but when you toggle the terms, you can override different layouts for different categories and tags as well. So let me go top to bottom here. Admin test mode is when you want to view how a layout is going to look, but not yet set it live. So if you wanted to integrate the Woo Layout Injector on an existing live site, you might check this box and then start playing with the layouts, and normal customers would never see it, only admin users. Add to cart button label, well, this is a great one. Let's say add to trolley. There you go, that's what I've used before. So previously we had, if I click into one, add to cart. This is just a nice simple central control that says on filling in that box and saving, it will override the boxes to add to trolley. There you go. Quite a common request, nice and easily done. Product page layout, that is this is the product page, the single product page, and we can override that using one of our layouts from the Divi library, and I'll show you how to create these in a minute. So we'll use I've created just a load for this example and other examples, but I've created one called product page. So we'll go and save again. Now if you wanted to, if a particular product, let's say, was in category 1, and you might want to change the layout of that, so you might have mugs in one category and DVDs in another category, or books perhaps, you might not want to present those together, and so category 1 might be called books, and you would create a layout specifically for books. You might have a different header, you might have a different, you might use a grid layout or whatever, you might have advanced custom fields enabled, which is quite nice, to do things like storing the ISBN number or the author details. So, but with DVDs you might have different custom fields added, which stores, for instance, the certificate rating or the length, or anything else. But these are quite useful. Just they've been requested a lot, so I've put them in there, and you can do that as well as a category / tag overrides here as well. So we'll click on product page, we'll press save, and there we go, it's updated. We can now refresh the page and our product page, whoa, it changes, look at that. Now, this is not the best that anyone can do. I've seen some really nice layouts created by other people who have bought the plugin. I am a developer, not a designer, so I apologise profusely. But this is still, you know, for me, better than the Divi one. So we'll see. I'd love to see anybody else's product pages and archive pages. Please do send them to me. I can create a little gallery of Woo Layout Injector based sites, and by all means, in fact, I'd love to include some of those layouts in the plugin in the future. So please do get in touch. So this again is the product page. So we have a product name. It says it there, product name. But we have the product name, the short description. We have the price, the add to cart or add to trolley button. We have our thumbnail gallery. Notice it's separate from the actual image. You can have it attached, or there is a separate module so you can have it elsewhere, which I thought was quite nice. So you have your gallery images across the bottom and a product image up here somewhere. We have our star rating system. That shows the current number of stars added, and then the stars can be added via the reviews module. And then we have a module called Meta here, which just dumps some of this useful information here for clicking around. We have breadcrumbs as well. We've got upsell, we've got cross sell, we've got loads. The main product description module, there you go, nice and easy. And I've just added these into sections in the page builder to show you what you can do, by the way. And we've got some related products here, just a few. Okay, now let's have a look at our shop page. So I've created two versions, or two shop pages. I've created a I've created a grid, shop page grid. There you go. I'll just activate that one for you, and I will refresh this page now. So what we get now is, a header that I've added. A bit boring, but does the job. I've added a grid-based layout using the loop archive module here, there we go. And each one of these uses what I call a sub-layout in order to show its information. So we have one module that powers this page, and that module calls on another layout within the Divi library repeatedly to create this page. It's a really effective method of laying out pages, and it's infinitely extensible. We could actually change this as well to be list based. So if I show you here, shop page grid, let's have a look here. I've got product category page list. So if I now go to list and that's now saved. So our category pages now look like will be in list view, and our shop page will be in grid view. Note these layouts don't come with the module, you have to create them yourself, but it really is a quick and easy job to do. So if I click into one of the products and I click on category 1 again, for instance, then what we get now is, okay, I forgot to make that white, but don't hold it against me, please. We have a list view. So I've got a product image module, we have a product name module, a price module, and a short description, which actually is the main description module with excerpt or short description mode turned on. And you have the option to optionally show a read more button. Now I appreciate read more is not the most apt wording for this module, and that's why you can change it. I just didn't bother. We can have view product here, which might make a bit more sense, I think. So as you can see, we have a list view that I've created, a grid view that I've created, a product page that I've created, and actually on the home page I have imported one of the standard layouts that comes with Divi, and I've butchered it. I've actually included the loop archive module to include a number of a number of products here and a link to visit our shop. So just to show you that you can also use my Woo based modules in normal page templates as well. So what I'll do now is I will show you how these have been constructed. So we'll go and have a look at the product page to start off with. So we have a look in my Divi library, Divi library, and the product page. Let's hope my battery lasts. 13%, it's going down quickly. Right, so I have got here a number of Woo based modules here. Bad naming convention, I know, but it's been that way for 6 months, so I can't really change it now, unfortunately. But if you look inside the Add Modules button here and scroll down to the bottom, you'll see a bunch of Woo based modules. That many, quite a few, eh? Each one with its own number of settings, its own advanced design settings, custom CSS boxes, and anything else. So you can configure any of those to do whatever you want. Now for this one, I've added a section with a background colour, so let's view this one side by side, shall we? So there's a variable product for you there with options and things. That was quite pretty as well, all works well. So we have a section at the top with a background colour of blue. I've removed some padding and I've set the product title module, Woo title. We have text colour and text orientation options by default, but also you've got a load of advanced design settings as well, so you can play around with the configuration. We have Woo content, which we're using for the short description, so we open up Woo content and excerpt only, and that is basically, should we show the short description or the long description? WooCommerce actually has both, but I've used one module for this because there's really no point in having two. And there's the read more option I mentioned earlier. If you press yes, you have the option to change the label if you want, but as we're on the product page, there's really no need to do that. We've got a price, which is just a standalone module, not many options for that one. Have a title above it if you want. We've got advanced design settings, of course. Add to cart button, again, a title if you wanted to, and advanced design settings as well. Variable pricing, and hovers, and headings, and all sorts. We've got a Woo thumbnails module here, which is, remember I said that if you wanted to use the product image, you can in fact have the thumbnails attached to it by leaving this as off, hide thumbnails off. But if you say yes, and you want to change the size, of course, you can mess around with the size, linking, and all sorts of different things here. If you wanted to have the thumbnails separate, there's the Woo thumbnails module as well. So we can choose how many thumbnail columns we want, whether we link them to the product page or elsewhere, whether we display a lightbox and everything else. We can change the size of the image, etc, etc. Have a play. Please let me know how you get on. The Woo rating module is very basic, but it's relatively new, with a bunch of advanced design settings, I believe. There we go. Star colours and things. That will allow us to show our star rating system on the front end as well. And Woo meta were the category and the meta tag options also. The next section down, so that is the 3 columns that you're seeing there. The next section down is the long description. Here you go, the long, and I've added a text module, which is just a centered H2 tag, I think, that says product description. Centered and light as it's on a black background. And we're using the Woo content module again, and this time again we're setting the text color to light, and I've messed around with the text size, I think, to make it a bit bigger. It will follow the size of the site, I believe, but this is now 16 with all your mobile controls and everything else. There we go. We've got our, and that's on a black background, so just to show you that you can mess around with the colours quite easily as well. And we've got this Woo related module, which is it just picks up the number of items to show, which has quite been a requested feature recently, and it will just pick up the number of related items attached to that post. So there you have it. That is a product page. Now, what you have all been screaming to hear, I can hear throw no battery. Is how to do the archive modules. Now these work all in the same way. This is quite a basic layout, as you can tell, but we're using the a layout in the Divi library, and we're going to call it shop page grid. We have called it shop page grid. Here we go, and it's just 2 rows for the time being, 2 sections. One's just a purple hideous background with the text module that says shop. There is a module called the Woo shop title, I think, that will put the word shop in for you if you want, or the category name. I've used that on the other one, which I'll show you shortly. Now the other one here is the ET Woo loop archive, which I'll show you right now. Now you create, as I said before, a sub layout. Now there are 5 items on this page, which means that our layout is going to be repeated 5 times, each time changing the data accordingly. Very easy to use, very extensible. We have I've created a product loop item grid, just so I know what it's called. That is in the Divi library as well. I'm telling it I want it in grid view, not list view. List view is what you saw on the categories page, which show 1 per row, so you can have a multiple columned sub layout if you wanted to, which gives you a lot more options there. And we have the number of columns, which are products. And I've selected 4. Because I wanted to select 2, for instance. It'll look massive, but let's say 2 and save. And wait, because my battery is low, so of course it shut down the processor a bit. And if I refresh that now, that should now go to 2. There you go. Looks a bit weird with the big pictures, but just an example. Now, in our loop archive module as well, we have a custom query option. You include that if you want to use it on a standard post or page. Let's say you wanted to show 4 products at the bottom of every page or on the home page. You'd select custom query. So select all the options before, list, grid, it all works. Custom query, tell it how many products you want. People keep talking to me. How many posts you want, products rather. How many you want to offset by. So you might have one of these modules showing 1 big featured, and then another one showing 3 more below, for instance. So you'd have the first one, post number 1, offset 0 to show the first one, and the second row you would have post number 3, offset 1, which means it would ignore the first one and show you the next 3. And you can filter by taxonomy, otherwise known as product category, product tag, that sort of thing. You put the tag name in there, so product underscore cat for product category, or product underscore tag for tags, and the taxonomy term or the slug. So if you had a product category called books, it would just be books in lowercase, but you can actually see this on the product categories page. There is a slug option there. Now, I've actually used this already on the home page, so I'll show you that shortly. Now, I'll show you a sub layout just to give you an example here of what this is. So we have our loop layout, product loop item grid. So let's go and have a look at what that is before my battery falls over. There we go. Divi library, product loop item grid, and it is a single column because this is a column as far as it's concerned. 1 item is 1 column. If I had said 2 columns here, and let's do it, let's make this change and see what happens, shall we? We'll have 50-50, and I have had some really good results doing this way actually. There we go, let's put that above. And if I update now, hopefully, now again I haven't tested this one in a little while, but just as I'm encouraging you to play, hopefully we get, there you go, that's nice, isn't it? Like a grid with options side by side. So you really can do quite a lot using this loop archive and sub layout approach. I think it's really nice. So if that was 3 columns, you'd see 3, but as far as this is concerned, that is 1 column, that section there. If you select list view, then one column of course is full width, but do have a toy with it because it really is very, very powerful. You use the same modules here in this loop, in your loop item as you would on the product page or anywhere else. It's just in the Divi library. Please make sure you don't use any global modules for the time being, and otherwise everything else is the same. So my product image, I've just said turn off the thumbnails, and I've checked the box that said link images to product page. So when I click on the image, that will take me to the product page as well, rather than opening up a lightbox. And then what else have we got here? Title, I think I've explained, and price I've explained as well. So I'll show you the list one now. There we go. If I show you the product category, so I go to my handy category 1 link down the side here, this should show me a list view. Now let's go and edit this because we don't want that to say read more, do we? We want that to say something else. So product loop item list, because I know that because that's the layout that I use for that page, a sub layout rather. So the layout is product category, I believe, and the layout that I chose to use from the loop archive module was product loop item list. And here the Woo content, remember that can be used for short and long description, has read more, and the read more I will show as view product, probably spelt correctly. There you go, and save. Now when I update this, normally very quick, we can flick back to our other page, wait for the swirly thing to disappear, fantastic, and refresh. And wait, there you go, now it says view product. Now if we didn't want the excerpt to show, or we wanted a buy now button, or we wanted to show the price, the star rating, all those modules can be used here. If you wanted the full product text to show, you could do that. If you wanted the thumbnail items to show, you could do that. On this layout as well, I've included a sidebar just to show you if you wanted a sidebar, you can have one. So let's go and show you the layout itself, shall we? So we flip back to the Divi library. Bear in mind this has all been configured one time, set and forget, in the settings and Woo Layout Injector page. And all we're doing is modifying these layouts, and these changes are taking effect anywhere that layout is used. So I can't emphasize enough that you make the change one time in your Divi library or the settings page, and it will affect the entire site whenever those layouts have been used. So it really is a maintenance-free system. Now the product category page is powered by the product category page list module. Notice that all layouts, so we create a new one, we create it of type layout and not global. And we'll load it. Okay, here we go. Shop category title. Now that automatically puts in the name of the category that I'm looking at. So up here it says category 1, but if I was on category 2, it would say category 2. So we don't have to create a different layout for every single category. If you wanted some categories to use one layout and other categories to use another, that's no problem. Make multiple layouts, save them accordingly, it will work. If you wanted the tag pages to have a different layout to the category pages, which may have even still a different layout to the shop page itself, you can do that as well via the settings page, and I'll show you that shortly. So we have our main section at the top, which is just a coloured background, and the shop category title. And we have our trusty Woo Loop Archive module and a sidebar, the sidebar module. So we can go into our loop archive here. Our settings, as you can tell, the list view, so it goes all the way across. And then my sub layout is a 1/3 with 2/3 next to it layout. But if that was 50-50, obviously it would show 50-50. If it was a grid of 4, you get the idea. So let me show you the settings. So it's list view, which means the grid columns aren't necessary. Pagination, that is at the bottom here, hopefully. Or I think I've got multiple per page. Okay, I don't have enough to trigger pagination, but you'd have the next and previous links. If you'd like that to show, the page numbers, there is a WordPress plugin called WP Page Navi. Very, very popular, has been around for eons. And just activating that plugin will make that the bottoms of these pages show page numbers. In fact, everywhere that you've used any one of my Loop Archive modules and pagination is set to yes, if you have the WP Page Navi plugin enabled, then you'll see the page numbers instead of next and previous links. Let's flip back here. So show pagination is turned on, and importantly, custom query is turned off. Custom query, I stress here, is only used when you are modifying, or rather adding the layout, adding a module to a front-end post or page. If you are using the settings and Woo Layout Injector page to put the layout in, you do not need to have custom query turned to yes. Just a word of warning there, so please don't send me a support ticket saying that it's not working if you've done that. But by all means, I'm more than happy to help all the time. Now, the home page item that I created. Now, whether or not I can do this within the battery time, let's see how we go. I would like a product, the most recent product, to show at the top. So let us go and create ourselves a loop archive layout in list view. So here we go. Just to give you an idea of how this works. So I will get rid of the slider. Come on, there we go. And I will use the Woo Loop Archive. Apologies for the slowness here. CPT Loop Archive. Sorry, this is that's Custom Post Type Injector, which works in very much the same way. In fact, I could use it for this and it would work fine. But we need the Woo Loop Archive module because that's the video I'm doing right now. Here we go. Woo Loop Archive. There. I'm going to set a loop layout that I've made. It's important that you make the sub layout before you make the archive layout, because if not, it won't be in the list. I have seen this done quite a lot. If you create an archive layout and then in loop layout use the same archive layout, that will cause unexpected results on the site. So obviously don't do that. We're going to use our list, product loop item list, which we've already played with. We'll put it in list view with no pagination because this is just a homepage feature, and the custom query, which we'll set to yes, because we're not on a WooCommerce based page. There's no loop, so we need to tell it to create one. We'll have one post. There we go, with no offset, so we can ignore that, and we'll ignore taxonomy information, and we'll save. There we go. So just a simple loop archive. And what that will do is at the top of the home page, we will see a list view, product image, price, title, and short description with a view product link. So let's see how that works, shall we? And view. There we go. View. And it's loading. 4% battery to go. This has been very, very successful, I think. There you go. So at the top of my home page, I'm seeing quite a basic, but quite pretty all the same, product image, which links to the product page, product title, price, description, and view product option, and the same information as before. So not a very exciting home page, but the whole point is to show you that if you wanted to feature your latest product on your home page, that's how you can do it. Alternatively, the built-in Woo, the Woo Shop module does still work with this plugin enabled, so you could use that if you wanted as well. So that you can create the best solution by using a mix and match of these plugins together. Anyway, I do hope that you found this video useful. It's taken a little while to get to in terms of getting around to creating the video, but I look forward to updating the plugin again a lot in the future. And please, by all means, if you have any questions, do get me on Facebook in the Divi Theme Users group, via the comment system on Elegant Marketplace, via my own support ticketing system, or via my documentation website, docs.tortoise-it.co.uk. Thank you once again for watching the video, and if you have any questions, please just get in touch.